Hi, everybody. Welcome to my channel. We're live. Wow. A little while ago, I wasn't sure if it was going to happen. There were just a few issues, but everything happened. Everything's been resolved. Welcome to my Sunday Night Live. My name's Anita. If this is your first time here, welcome. I've been doing this for about 10, 12 years, following, low carb, keto, carnivore now these days, and it's been a life changer. I've lost 145 pounds. That's kind of me. I think that's at my heaviest, and it was kind of a different life, where things were just very hard. And I now feel that my life has changed. Food is medicine. And I feel that a lot of us could, just change our lives with the proper human diet. And for me, these days, that is pretty much mostly meat and fat, animal fat. So this is where we talk about it. And in June, well, before I get to that, I've already skipped a couple points on my sheet. First of all, there is a giveaway tonight. And the giveaway is this jar or can of Redmond's chili lime salt. This is one of my favorite salts. I use this on my Argentine shrimp. It is excellent on that. But, of course, whoever wins it can use it on whatever they like. It's one of my favorites of their products. The giveaway word is chili. All you have to do is type the word chili in the comments, because it's called chili lime. I don't know if I said that. It's called chili lime. Type the word chili and you will be automatically entered, and you only have to enter once. If you type it in 10 times, you're only entered once, so there's no point. So just type it in once and, you're guaranteed entry. It's good to go. So we'll do that at the end of the hour. I want to let you know that we have some amazing moderators in the house. We have Melissa, who is in there, carnivores, no, I can never say it. Okay, it's Melissa. I'll say it right one of these days. Copper's Kitchen. And we have Bonnie and we have Sherry, and they will be there providing links and maybe answering some of your questions and all that kind of stuff. The supportive things that they do while I'm busy talking, they handle all that stuff, for which I am forever grateful. So today we're going to talk about, and I have some handouts and things, I'm changing things up. So I don't have a guest tonight. I'm here by myself. It's the beginning of June. I feel like I've been in a bit of a rut the last 3 months. I was doing, I'm just going to be real with you guys tonight. And I'm hoping that you'll share some of your experiences with me. And I'll share my experiences with you, and, we'll kind of go back and forth. Though, obviously, if you have questions, please put them in the comments, put a Q or a question mark in front so that the moderators, what they do when they see that, or if I notice it, we can separate those out into a separate part of StreamYard here so that I can easily see them and bring them up on the screen to talk about, just in case you didn't know. So ask your questions. I have decided that I'm going to go back to some things I was doing before that were working. And I've had to do that a lot on this journey. As you can imagine, when you have a lot of weight to lose, and in my case, it was 145 pounds, I was metabolically challenged. I was mobility challenged. It's really hard to exercise. I remember trying to go for walks, when I was over 300 pounds, and it's just pain. Like, it's just pain city. And it's not the answer anyways when you're metabolically challenged and when you're addicted to carbs and sugar. So for me, it was a matter of, starting low carb and then keto. And here I am now, eating mostly meat because that's where I feel the best. But it's been slow and it's taken a long time, and there's been some setbacks and some long stalls. There's been some regains. I mean, this is part of, part of my journey. I would love to be one of those people that says, yep, I cut my carbs, or I went keto, lost 150 pounds, and I've been maintained it ever since. I know those people are out there. I've heard they're out there, but that isn't my story, and so that's not what I can share with you. I can share with you that it's something I work on every day, and I will probably work on this forever. And I know that people have said, well, I find it discouraging to hear that. That doesn't discourage me at all. I mean, there isn't any going back for me. I have zero illusions. And, I'm hoping that you guys also understand that once you learn how to do this, once once you've, just eaten meat and you see how amazing you feel and just how different your life is, how do you go back to eating carbs? I just will never go back to eating carbs. I mean, I might eat some carbs on a day, but that's it. Like, I'm never going back to that as a lifestyle. Once you see something and know something, it's for me, I can't unsee it and unknow it. And I don't want to be 320 pounds again. I like where I am. So I like where I am, but I still have a little further to go. And so that's what we're talking about tonight. So for a while, I was doing 3 meals a day, like the last 3 months, because I was really I was focused on getting this target amount of protein in, 150 grams a day, and found it very difficult to do that in 2 meals a day. So I went to 3 meals a day. But, being the addict person, I got this little addictive personality back there. I found that I think I was just starting to eat too much. And so I'm not progressing. You can call it a stall. I call it kind of maintenance. I've been purposely, subconsciously maintaining my weight because I have to actively work at it to be on a losing program, or whatever you want to call it. Like, for example, when I had some coaching with Alice and Kevin, I followed some very specific macros, and those macros worked, but it drained me, and I needed to take a mental health break from that. And so that's what I've been doing. And now I'm ready to tackle things again. And I'm going to use intermittent fasting this month. That's what my June is going to look like. And so I've been doing, I've set a goal for myself to every day do at least 16 hours, but I've been doing 18 to 20 hours. It's just been happening that way. And really trying to eat enough at that first meal of the day after the fast is broken. Sometimes I'm not even really that hungry for the second meal. Like, for instance, it's 4:08 right now for me. And there is some food in the crock pot. If I had to eat it now, I don't know if I would. I'd probably, I'll probably eat a little bit of it when when this live stream is finished. But I am just feeling like, wow, like it's eating a very large meal is quite different than eating 3 small meals. And we'll see how this goes. I did a Tuesday talk about a week ago where I talked about goals versus habits. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that tonight, because I am a person in the past where I have set lots of goals. I've set monthly goals, and somewhere along the way, I started realizing that a goal wasn't enough, and especially goals like I want to feel better, or that's not enough for me because all my life I wanted to feel better. I wanted to weigh less. I wanted to be able to do things. Like, I wanted that my entire life, but could never quite get there, could never quite figure it out. And, getting the carbs, the grains, the seed oils, all that stuff completely out is when I first started trying. I was able to figure it out. I was able to figure out that those were the things that were holding me back, and so I was able to progress fairly quickly once I got to that point. But these goals, so the thing I have, the problem I have with goals is you can set a goal. For instance, I've set one this month to lose 5 pounds. So I'm going to bring my little habit tracker to the stage here. And I don't know if you can see it down here. My June goal is to use intermittent fasting every day. I think that says 16:8. It's very tiny to me here. And work up to one meal a day, twice a week, and lose 5 pounds. So that's my goal for June. But if I just had that written on the fridge, I don't know, like for me, it just doesn't do a whole lot of good. And so I have been finding that keeping track of my habits, like on this habit tracker, is how I can potentially get to that goal. So it's the little things you do every day. And those are the things that will propel you on to, potentially meet whatever your goal is. So now the thing is, this habit tracker is, I made this up in a few minutes online. You can make up your own, but I do have a blank one that you can download, and the link for that is in the video notes. It looks exactly like this one. Let me just bring it up. Except that it's blank. So you can fill in the month, you can, write in some goals. If you have 10 goals, you can print out, 2 or 3 pages and then just color in every month. I mean, it's pretty easy to use. I like doing it on my phone. So I have something similar to this. It's just called Habit Tracker, and there's many of them. And so I find that doing it on my phone is something very convenient. But I know that many people don't, a lot of people don't have smartphones, or they don't have, they're not good with technology or whatever. And so I recommend, doing it on paper. And you don't have to even do something as fancy as what I've done here. You can just get a dollar store notebook, and you can write your habits in there every day, and free form, right? And that is 100% good. So I feel like I think that going back to intermittent fasting is going to help me, and keep moving forward, because I like to change things up every 2 or 3 months. I feel like I've had better results from doing that. I mean, I get I change things up, I get results. I kind of get a little worn down from it, and then I have to take a break. And then I just try to hang in there and maintain until the next time I'm ready to go. And I don't know what that is. I mean, that, maybe other people here are like that and can relate. Please let me know so that I know I'm not the only one out there. I would love to know that I'm not 100% totally weird. So I think that I would love to hear, like, how do you guys propel yourselves through a break? Like, how do you take breaks? Do you... I don't like to call them stalls because it's negative to me. I prefer to, think of it as a maintenance break, just gonna keep the status quo for a while. I'd like to hear what you guys do. And also, ask me your questions. I'm going to put the link to the Tuesday talk below as well. And also, if you want to make a custom habit tracker on paper, when I Googled custom habit tracker, I got all kinds of, like, there's people who use Google Sheets and make them. There's YouTube videos on how to do that. So you can make your own fun kind of habit tracker, customize it to the way you want. And then you can also buy things like a bullet journal or something like that on Amazon. I'm going to play around with one. I ordered one today, and I'm going to play around with that. and see see how that does for me. And I'll definitely report back to you guys on that. I think journaling. I really like journaling, and I think a lot of people who are successful, I have noticed that they know exactly why they're successful. They know exactly why they've had periods of time when maybe they're not, because they journal, they keep track of things, they write things down. And so it's a habit that I've been working on. I have a journal that I ordered a couple of months ago, and I've been filling it in. It doesn't quite meet my needs, and so that's why I've ordered a different one that I think looks like now that I've been using that one for a while, this one looks like it's more what I need for what I'm trying to do. So I'll let you know how that goes. So I'm just going to jump over to the comments and questions part of this and see what people are asking me. Carmen. Happy June and happy retirement to you. Your last day was Friday and you're officially retired. Wow, congratulations, Carmen. I'd like you to contact me and let me know how you actually left your job, because I've given my notice twice where I work, and guess what? I'm still working there. But it is, it's complicated, but I'm kind of making light of it, but there are reasons, and it is starting to wrap up. I'm looking forward to things wrapping up. I really am. So congratulations to you. I hope to be saying the same thing soon. In the middle of a forest, have you finished the Kelly Hogan training sessions? I don't know if I'll ever finish those. I've been in her group coaching. So she does group coaching, and it's a weekly coaching, and I've been going for several months. And, I tell you, I'm a slow learner, because the habit tracking thing is where I learned that from her. And I sat there for several months listening to all the habit tracking stuff that she had to say. And I would, that sounds right. That sounds good. That sounds good. It's only a month ago that I started using it. I guess that's a pattern of mine. And I think that's why I enjoy I take a lot of different people's coaching or their courses. I learn something from all of them. And sometimes I'm not ready to implement what it is they're offering, what it is they're saying. The seed gets planted in my brain, and I need to ruminate on that for a while. I need to, just try that on. And for some things, it takes me a while. And that's just kind of the way I am. And I was the same with exercise. I sat around and listened to, the importance of exercise. I watched videos on it. I did all kinds of things before I finally got into it. And it took me a while. So yeah, I'm not finished with her training sessions. I mean, I'll know when I'm finished. I'm going to just keep going. It's like a tribe. It's a support group for me. And, I have different ones like that. I'm in Dr. Chafee's private group. I'm in I've now joined the fasting method. Dr. Fung, he wrote the book, The Ultimate Guide to Fasting, and he works with Megan Ramos, and they're Canadians, which I love too. Not that makes any difference, but I feel a kinship to them. And so I love learning. I love learning from people. I love hearing what they have to say. I don't always implement it when I should. I sometimes take too long, but I just keep going. I think that's probably my best quality. I never give up. I just keep going. It's what else have I got to do, right? Like, am I going to go back to eating carbs and weigh 300 and something again? No. So I'm just gonna keep hanging out in this community, keep talking, keep sharing, keep listening. until, well, and even beyond the point when I'm, at my goal weight. I'll still keep doing the same thing because, to me, this is an ongoing thing. It's never going to be finished for me. It might be finished for someone else who knows how to do that, but not for me. So there you have it. I hope that makes sense, some kind of sense. Kathy, hello everyone. Anita, you look beautiful. Oh, thank you. And your sweet and funny personality shines through. I'm all set to listen and learn. Thanks to the wonderful moderators. They are wonderful. I don't think I'd be able to do this without them because sometimes I just get to talking and I would have no idea what's going on in the comments if they weren't sorting out these comments for me to look at on the screen here. So I could not do without them. Anita, good name. I don't know how to pronounce your last name, but good name, good first name. How long on keto before you see your waist shrink? 2 years, no weight loss, and your waist is the same. Excuse me. Well, that does seem unusual, and I think that it's time for you to assess where you're at and try to. I would take a look at your TDEE, and that's total daily energy expenditure. We do have a link, that I like to use for people. And what it does is it tells you your maintenance. Like, here's your maintenance where, what you should be doing if you're maintaining your weight. Sounds like you're maintaining your weight. You're maintaining the status quo. I eat at my TDEE level normally. If left to my own devices, if I'm not focusing on weight loss, and I've been doing that for 3 months, if I randomly track what I eat in a day, I go, oh, look, I'm at my TDE maintenance level, just like that. Like, it's just where my body wants to go. And, because sometimes your body doesn't want to change the weight, and sometimes you have to do some things. Well, we'll talk about metabolic resets in a moment, too, because I have a handout for that as well. Sometimes you want to change things up. And whatever you've been doing for 2 years, maybe it's time to revisit it. With the information that you've given me here, I have no advice because I have no idea what your particulars are. And so, but yeah, definitely it's time to change things up. Start by learning what your TDEE is, track for a week, see where you are. And that will give you a starting point. Anne, how do you break through a stall or plateau? Any tips? Yes, I usually do it by changing things up. So I'm going to bring what I was just talking about, metabolic resets, into the picture. So these are some things I have done. And these, a lot of these are 2 days, 3 days, 5 days. This one's 30 days. I've done that one too. So we've got Sardine Challenge. That's a Dr. Boz thing. I got my inspiration from her on that. I also have some videos on how to do the Sardine Challenge and a cheat sheet. I've got all kinds of stuff. That works very well to, trigger a little bit of movement. Same with the egg fast. What I'm doing now this month is I'm doing the next one, fasting. I'm doing intermittent fasting to change things up and to, get myself moving again. I did the 30-day bacon challenge one time a few years ago. It was fun. I did get tired of bacon after a while, but it does work. And so it is protein sparing. I have some stuff on my website about protein sparing. I have playlists on my YouTube channel, different recipes and what I eat in a day for protein sparing, and same with fat fast. So all of those things work. None of them are a lifestyle. They're not meant to be something that you follow for any extended period. They are meant just, like very short term, very quick, in and out. Protein sparing, for instance, I would do that 2 or 3 days a week, but never 2 or 3 days in a row. I would kind of intersperse feeding days in between. that sort of thing. But these are just ideas. You can download this little sheet in that same link that's been provided below in the notes. And there are links here to some other information. So I would definitely look at metabolic resets. And I hope that helps. Let's take that off. Carmen, I struggle with all the same things, and my plan is to intermittent fast this month also. It's like you're in my head. Yes, I'm in your head. I want to retire, and we're going to intermittent fast together. We're going to fast our retirement away. So I'm also going to get back to beach sunrise walks. That is amazing. I find that doing that morning greeting of the sky and setting my circadian rhythm, I've been getting better sleep scores on, I just love it. And better sleep is good for healing and weight loss. So keep doing that, definitely. Kathy, I word my goals as affirmations in the present tense as though they are done. For example, I am fit and healthy at my ideal weight. Affirmations are amazing. And I would, in my journaling, I do write down daily affirmations. I try to pick 3. I also I try to pick 5 things I'm grateful for that day. That's another powerful tool that doesn't, get enough attention. And, and I like what you said at the end. And other positive, albeit lying statements. Well, I think there's an old saying that, if you want something, to act as if you have it, and I think that is in this vein as to what you're talking about, and I think that is a great, it's great to do affirmations. I believe they're very powerful. So good work, and keep doing that. Joan, I have sardines waiting for me, thanks to you. Oh, you're welcome. I was wondering if I could mix kipper snacks with them, since I have trouble just eating the sardines alone. I don't see why not. Just watch the ingredients. I think any seafood is good to have with the sardines. Just watch the ingredients. Like, look at the can, make sure there's no seed oils. And if there's no seed oils, I mean, I would do salmon, mackerel, any of those things, to make it easier. Seafood is good. And so since I did my very first sardine challenge about a year ago, that has kind of spurred me on to add either canned salmon or sardines or mackerel. Sometimes I have shrimp. No, I like the Argentine shrimp with the chili lime on it. Chili in the comments to get this giveaway today. But yeah, I have found that I try to have some seafood at least once a day, even if it's a little, bit on the side of my plate with my steak. I find that it really helps my knee. My knee feels great. I know it's different from my other knee. I can feel the difference. There is that stiffness, there are issues there, but if a doctor said to me, what is your pain, on a scale of 0 to 10, there was a time it would have been 7, 8, 9 all the time. And I even though it is stiff and I know it's bone on bone, I know all these things technically, I have 0 pain. It's a 0 or a 1. So that to me is amazing. Judy, hi Judy. My goal or plan is 1, no snacking, 2, no evening eating, and 3, limit recipes to 3 or less ingredients. I think that's a really good, strategy, and that's why I'm doing the intermittent fasting, because it eliminates snacking and it eliminates the evening eating. It's like I'm generally now eating at noon and at between 4 and 5. So then I'm fasting all the way to noon the next day. So there's no snacks. I'm going to talk about fasting training wheels in a moment, yeah, so hopefully I don't forget that. I just want to there's a lot of questions piling up and I want to get through them. Thank you guys for all your questions. Recipes, 3 ingredients or less. I love that too. I was talking to the ladies, the moderators just before we started, and we were talking about recipes, and I used to make long, complicated recipes. Like when I was doing low carb and keto, it was a thing for me. And I'm like, oh, anything with lots of ingredients now, I can't even look at. I can't even look at the list. I just like, no, I just, it's not for me anymore. I love the simplicity of, just having a burger with butter and that kind of thing. Carmen, I'm in your head again. You were planning to start journaling, and here you are talking about it. Yes, do it. I love journaling. It becomes a thing, when you start doing it every day, and it becomes something that I want to get, do my journal. So I'll be interested to hear how you do in a month. Nola, hi Anita, is it okay to eat butter bites while fasting? Okay, so here's where I'm going to talk about training wheels. So what I'm learning in the fasting group is that if you're new to fasting, so there's this thing, okay, so some people say, well, you got to fast clean. There's nothing, you can't have anything, during that fast except for water or black coffee. And in fact, there are things that you can have that in small amounts, if you're new to fasting and you're trying to get, you're trying to get through this, because fasting, and I think Sherry, one of the moderators, she said this to me a long time ago, that fasting is like a muscle that needs to be exercised. And if you're new to fasting, that muscle is weak. I'm totally weak. So this week, as I've been fasting, I was told that it's okay to use training wheels, and training wheels would be something like a teaspoon of butter. Like if it helps me, like if I'm trying to do 18 hours or 20 hours and it helps me to get there, to have a teaspoon or maybe even a tablespoon of butter, I'm okay to do that because it does not raise my insulin. Now, those of you who wear a CGM or, can test yourself, make sure you test yourself on these things. So I've had a little bit of, I don't do a tablespoon at a time, but a teaspoon just helps me make it another hour. And also I've had coffee with a tablespoon of heavy cream in it. And that is also a training wheel. Some people will do bone broth. I know Dr. Bickman likes to fast with bone broth with butter added. I've heard that he does that. So there's different things like that. Those are things that don't raise your insulin. They keep you stable. If they help you make it to, your first 24-hour fast, for example, or your first 36-hour fast, while you are working that fasting muscle, I'm not going to say no. Like yes, at some point I want to do a clean 24 hours, but right now I'm new, and sounds like you're new if you're asking that question. Just make sure there's no, sweet things in it or anything that might trigger you, or just if it's like pure fat like that, I wouldn't say no. I'm not a fasting expert, as you can tell. I'm using training wheels still. So, Carly, thank you so much for all your free handouts. You are so welcome. I hope they are helpful and useful to you. Bonnie loves technology. Yes, she does. But I do like a paper track and journal, pen to paper. Yes, some people find that very powerful, pen to paper. Pen to paper is psychologically doing something to you. There was a study. I had somebody sent it to me at one point about that. I don't have it at my fingertips. I don't even know where it is right now. But she quotes it to me sometimes that pen to paper is a really good way to like this is why journaling is so powerful, like like an actual real journal. And so I'm definitely a big fan. Shannon, are you still tracking blood glucose and ketones? Only randomly. So, so there was a time when I was doing some testing of different strategies. Like say the first time I did a sardine challenge, I tracked it all the way through that. Or if I did a fat fast, or I did some high fat days, for a certain amount of time where I tracked every day at the same time just to see. But the last few months, no, it's only been a random thing. I'll see my meter there, and I'll go, I'm going to just test, just see where I am. And I've been at around, like my blood glucose is normal. Like I've gone, like there was a time when I was very likely pre-diabetic, just because of some of the issues I had, to right now my blood glucose is very normal no matter what I do. But my ketones, so if I just randomly am eating meat, eating as much as I want, my ketones are there, but not very high. They're like 0.5. But I have heard many of the I guess the carnivore influencers say that 0.5 is perfectly fine for a carnivore, that you're making ketones. I've been fat adapted for some time, so I'm not really worried about that low amount of ketones. But that said, I did test them today. I just wanted to see where I was at, because I've been doing the intermittent fasting for about 3 or 4 days. And I was quite surprised to see that my blood glucose this is about 18 hours into the fast, that my blood glucose was quite a bit lower than it has been. It was 3.7. I mean, I'm quoting Canadian numbers here, I think. 3.7, and my ketones were 1.4. So that's much higher than they've been in a long time when I've randomly tested like that. So we'll see. Well, like I don't really know. But I'm probably not going to be testing it every day, but more randomly, just to see. Lisa, how is your knee doing? Well, I don't know if you heard me just a couple of minutes ago, but I mean, it's bone on bone arthritis. I am on a waiting list, but I'm in Canada. It could take 2-3 years. Who knows? But I don't know. If I was to be faced with a decision today, I don't know if I would have the surgery or not, because I don't have any pain. I only have stiffness. So, it's really good. And I attribute that to movement. I'm trying to move every day. I get more than 10,000 steps a day. I've got my under desk cycler, and I'm loving that. It's helping me keep my steps up. I got my feet in there right now. And it helps me keep my steps up, even at days when I have to work at my desk. So I love that. And getting outside, I love, going for a walk after dinner, things like that. And the garden projects in the back have really, I've been forced to do a lot of activity. Well, not forced, but, I've been doing a lot of activity because of that. And the omega-3s from all the sardines that I'm eating are helping. I believe they are helping. So thanks for that, for asking. Julia, I found I was stuck for a year, but when I finally wrapped my brain around Chronometer, I found I was eating under 1,000 calories a day, most times under 800. So that was a wake-up call. Oh, yeah. That's not enough to nourish your body. It's not enough to even maintain the muscle that you have, never mind build any new muscle. So I'm glad you figured that out, and hope you're doing better now. Caden, hello, Miss Anita. Are you still being coached by Alice and Kevin? I think that's their names. Yes, I did their coaching program, and then that ended. It was a one-on-one coaching. So no, but I'm sure, like, they welcome people to email them or whatever, and they have a a community. I don't think it's on school. It's on, or is it? Maybe someone can remind me where it is. But they have their community of people to talk to. But no, I'm not being I'm not doing the one-on-one coaching with them anymore. I'm grateful I did do it though, because I learned that I was not having enough protein, and even though I'm not doing the exact macros that they gave me during that time I was being coached, I am aware of the protein, and so I'm making sure that with my intermittent fasting, I'm getting good. I'm not getting probably 150 grams like I was, but I'm getting way more than what I was doing. Like I think I'm getting about 120, 130, which I think is good. So, Christy, I just finished a lion diet for the month. I know you've told me you've done this as well. Yes, I did it for 30 days once too. Did you have any problems? I had terrible cramping in my legs and trouble with hormones. Okay, that's interesting. So that could be electrolytes. I'm not sure. And I cramps are a funny thing, and I do still take my electrolytes, and so for me, that kind of keeps it at bay. But I do keep on my bedside table, I keep a bottle of mineral or magnesium spray to spray on my. I always get them on my left leg, which is also happens to be the knee, the leg with the bad knee. It's never on my right leg. It's always on my left leg. So in the middle of the night, if I get a cramp, I will spray on my leg the magnesium oil. It's gone in seconds, like literally seconds. So I highly encourage you to look for that. If that's a problem at night, I don't know if it is for you. That's the only cramping I get. But a drastic change can cause some cramping and some electrolyte issues. So just something to know about. Make sure you're getting enough salt with that lion diet. Not drinking too much to dilute all the salt out. So yeah, it's a tricky situation. I'm grateful that I did that for the 30 days because it's how I figured out that I had some real issues for certain foods, bringing back into my diet. The first time I had black pepper, many of you know this part of my story, that I was up all night with the worst acid reflux ever. And it was just from having black pepper on my meal, first day one out of lion diet. I was just doing salt, no pepper. And it just about killed me. I thought I was going to die. It was so bad. And I haven't had black pepper since that day. And I have also discovered since then, through carnivore is such a great, lion diet is such a great elimination diet. You add back things one at a time, you can really figure out what you're sensitive to. And for me, it definitely nightshades. Okay. So, wow, there's lots of questions. So I got to move quick here. Are there extra groups that you can participate in for free? There are tons of them, especially on Facebook. There's lots of free keto and carnivore books or groups on Facebook. I have one. Unfortunately, it's for women only. I'm sorry about the men, but there are plenty of good ones for you guys as well. But you can join my ketogenic woman Facebook group. It's a very supportive group. A lot of women that are my age who are dealing with hormonal issues and whatnot. But there are many. There's lots of carnivore and keto and ketovore groups that are free. You shouldn't have any trouble finding them. I think you need non-scale goals too. Yes, absolutely. 100% agree with you. Can you walk or climb stairs without wanting oxygen? Can you wear smaller clothes? Still measurable, but not tied to the scale. 100%. This is about, being able to do things in your life. A number on a scale means nothing if you don't have the mobility, if you cannot, take care of yourself. I mean, those of you who know my story and taking care of my mom and all that stuff, this is a huge part of what drives me to get on here and share. And because I don't want myself to go through what I watched my mom go through with her mobility issues. When you're in your 80s and you're 100 pounds overweight, it is the worst thing. It is horrible. It was horrible for her. It was horrible for me as her caregiver. It was horrible all around. And this is the thing that drives me. For any of you who saw my interview with Coach Bronson a couple of months ago, we talked about this a lot. His book, The Body, it's gone. Yeah, see, this is part of me doing these live streams. Sometimes you get a question you're not prepared for, but he's got that new book out. I did that live stream with him a couple of months ago where he talks about this very thing, body confidence. And so if you don't have confidence in your body to make it through your daily activities, what is it all about, right? Like, that is the important thing. So I encourage you to go back and watch that if you can. How do you handle not preaching to a friend who has so many problems that a diet? I feel your pain. When I know they don't want to hear it, we all have those. I have them in my family. I have them in my friends. I have them in my life. We all know those people. And it's hard because you're not ready till you're ready. So you can't preach at somebody. You can't be constantly sending them videos. You come across like a mad person if you do. It's be the lighthouse and not the foghorn. So you've got to set the example, and you've got to do what is right for you, and let them see. That is the only way, and wait for them to come to you and ask the question, because otherwise you could lose the friendship. You could, there's all kinds of it could get awkward, and so I don't do that. It's hard not to preach, but you can't. I've learned anyways, but I feel your pain. Barbara, when you intermittent fast, you still eat the 150 gram protein every day in the one meal. Hello from Nanaimo. Hi. So there are people that do. Now, I'm not necessarily shooting for that much protein every day now. I'm typically getting 120-ish. And I'm eating 2 meals. So I'm eating at around noon and then between 4 and 5 o'clock. I will do 1 meal a day, but I'm not going to do that every day because I don't want to not have enough protein on a daily basis. Once or twice a week, it's safe to do. I'm in, like you guys know, I'm in Kelly's group, and she always says, as long as you're not chronically under eating every day, because some people do chronically under eat every day. As long as you're not chronically under eating every day, it's okay to do a 24-hour fast. It's okay to do a long 36 or 72-hour fast for those of you that like to do those. As long as on those other days where you are eating, that you are getting a good amount of your protein and your fat. So I feel pretty comfortable not getting that in 1 meal. It would be hard for me because I don't like to eat a huge meal, and switching like I just have over the last few days. I've switched from 3 meals to 2 meals. My 2 meals have felt bigger, and so it has been a bit challenging, but I know I'll get used to it. Lisa, have you done a fat fast? Yes, I have videos showing what I ate on a fat fast. Did you lose weight if you did a fat fast? Did you track calories? Well, tracking calories on a fat fast can be painful because, you can do 2,000 or 3,000 calories quite easily in a day. But metabolically, it's a good reset, and I have lost weight doing a fat fast. So, usually not on the day of, because I can't do it for more than a day. There's people that do a fat fast for 3 days. That's just not for me. I'll do a fat fast, and then the next day I'll do something more normal, or I'll do, just an 18-hour fast or something. And usually I have a loss the second or third day after. But, these little short metabolic resets, a lot of people, want to know, well, if I do an egg fast for 3 days, how much weight will I lose? Well, you might not lose anything. That isn't really the point of a metabolic reset. And same with the sardine challenge. I think I lost a pound in those 3 days. That isn't really the point. The point is that it can spur you into, like, your ketones are going to be high, your blood glucose is going to be low. You could then, after you eat 3 days of sardines, it's much easier to fast for a day, like, a 24-hour fast. And some people go right into a 72 after doing a sardine challenge. It metabolically prepares you for other things and keeps things going for you. So I don't know, hopefully that made sense. Are we there yet? My goal or plan for June is to finish eating by 5 p.m. every day. It's been a long stall and I only eat once a day, maybe twice. Issue is that I'm not hungry until 5 or 7. How to retrain the body and brain. So, I don't know if you have read about circadian rhythm. You probably have, but just in case, one way to retrain your brain is to get up and greet the morning sky. Whether rain or shine, I do it rain or shine. I'm not walking in the wet grass in the rain. If it's a nice day, I walk in the grass with bare feet. If it's raining, I'm out there, and I'm doing my grounding by hanging onto a tree, and I've got the light, even if it's overcast, the morning sky in your face. That anchors your circadian rhythm, and eventually, like when the sun starts to set, I'm like sleepy. It's doing something to my internal clock. My melatonin levels are naturally doing something. I don't know how to explain it, but it's really cool. I would definitely look into that. Joan, chili. Thank you for all the inspiring words. You are my carnivore hero. Oh, thank you, Joan. That's so nice. Which Hogan group are you in? I'm in Monday nights at, she calls it 8:15. For me, it's 5:15. I just renewed for tomorrow at 7. If you don't want that public, you can just, too late for that. I said it. But it's fine. I don't care if people know. So hoping you're in my group. I'm not. I've got 2 stars on habits. Excellent. Okay. Wow, where are we? We're at 52 minutes here. Oh, what under desk cycler? It's called a QB Go, and I got the QB Go Junior, and I'm glad I got the Junior because I was going to get the bigger one, and when the Junior came out of the box, it was big. I thought, well, that's bigger than I thought it was, but it's like an elliptical. It sits under my desk. It makes no noise. Okay, I'm cycling right now. Can you tell I'm cycling? Some people might be able to tell, but I'm cycling right now. I absolutely love it. It is smooth and no noise. Marilyn. So glad you don't have any pain. I bet all the collagen, yes, the collagen you've been taking has helped as well. I don't think I'd go for surgery either. So that's the other thing besides the omega-3s. Thanks for mentioning that. Collagen is also something I eat almost every day. I have beef cheeks in the slow cooker right now, loaded with collagen. That's going to be my dinner. And so, I make the collagen soup. If you haven't seen that, look up collagen soup on my channel. Okay, I'm going to whip through some questions here, and we're going to do the draw pretty soon. So, Bonnie, you are right. Thank you. Moving my Aura ring down to my toe as I get these extra things in. So that's a weird thing about the Aura. I'm gonna have to do a show about the Aura ring. I love my Aura ring, but there are some oddities that you need to know about. I've just moved it down to my toe so that while I'm using the under desk cycler, it will count those steps. Absolutely. Thanks for the reminder. See, I don't know what I'd do without you guys. Lots of great info. Louise, thank you. Carmen, what is the brand of magnesium oil that you use? I had more leg cramps on Lion Diet also. There's a couple of brands. I can't remember them off the top of my head, but they are in my Amazon shop. So for those of you who don't know, Amazon allows me to set up a little shop on Amazon. It's called Ketogenic Woman. I put all my favorite things in, things that I use. It's in there. It's in there. There's two kinds that I've used that are both in there, because sometimes they're out of one, and so I get the other. I wish I could remember the name, but I can't. But yeah. So if you look it up, I don't know what causes them, as they seem to come at random. I know. Linda, you look so much smaller, physically less wide, if that makes sense. I'll take that. Smaller every week. Thank you. I've kind of stayed the same the last 3 or 4 months. But if you go back 3 years ago to my first my first YouTube video, those first few videos, you can definitely see a difference. Like, even I can see the difference when I lose weight so slow that I don't always see the difference. It just seems to I'm like, when will I ever lose weight? But then I go and I need to find an old video to give to somebody, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to give that to them. Look at me. But it's part of my journey. So yeah. So you guys, I think, should we do the draw? Has everybody put the word chili in? So let's see. If you haven't put the word chili in, it's almost time to make that draw to win the chili lime Redmond salt, which is great on shrimp. So let's do that now, and then we still have just a couple minutes. If another question comes in, I'll answer it after we do the draw. But let's get that. All right, here we go. We've got 112 people who entered. Let's see who's going to win. Jennifer Teves. All right, Jennifer. So I'm just going to make a note of your name. If you could send me an email at ketogenicwoman@gmail.com and let me know your address so that I can mail this to you. This is coming to you. All right. So thank you guys for entering that. So let's take a look here and see if any other questions came in. Do you take a collagen supplement? Well, I consider the soup a collagen supplement. So I buy things like beef tendons, and I make my own bone broth, brisket, things like that. Those are super for collagen. I try to do that a lot. The beef tendons are pure collagen, and they're something I love to eat. So if you look up the beef or the collagen soup on my channel, I'm not against the supplements. I used to take like a daily scoop in my coffee a long time ago. But I'm really trying to get it all from food, and it's just something I'm personally trying to do. I don't judge anybody if they take a collagen supplement. Just make it a good one, make it a pure one, and try to eat the meat that has the collagen in it. On my channel as well, we did a whole episode on collagen, and that is well worth watching, because we went through all the different types of collagen and the uses and everything else, and we had some handouts all about collagen. So if you're interested in that, then go check that out, and you can download those handouts as well. And in fact, when you go to the handout download, if you scroll down, you can see handouts for previous live streams, and so you'll probably find the collagen supplementary handouts in there as well. So, well, here we are. This was timed perfectly, right to the last minute. The questions, I hope I got them all. Thank you guys for coming and spending your Sunday night with me, and cheering me on as I'm cheering you on as we make some changes for June, and think about journaling, download those habit trackers, either the paper ones or, get it on your phone. There's an app. The one I like is just called Habit Tracker. But there's others on there. So think about doing those things, and we'll see you guys next week. I look forward to that. So everybody have a great rest of your Sunday night. Good night, all.